All right, apparently LeVar Ball is out here being playing NBA Insider. He says that Zach LaVine is done with the Bulls and he'll land with the Lakers. So I'm not sure about everything with the Lakers. The Lakers just simply don't have the cap space unless the Bulls accommodate them with a sign and trade and they don't have a draft pick to like 2026 or 2027 or something like that. Then they would probably basically be taking on Russell Westbrook's contract and a sign and trade, and that would be what it is. They ain't like they're gonna get LeBron or Anthony Davis or nothing like that. But like I said before, I'm not sure if the Bulls are gonna be interested in doing a sign and trade with the Lakers, especially with Westbrook. I mean, after what Westbrook done in LA, and people say, well, it ain't Westbrook's fault or whatever, but you know, the Bulls need size, they need height, they need somebody at the five to really be able to anchor the middle, and can they count on Lonzo Ball? I'm not sure if they can count. I'm not sure if they can count on Lonzo Ball in the long term, and maybe that's kind of where Russell Westbrook kind of dip and dabble in. But backcourt with Russell Westbrook and Lonzo Ball, to me, that probably ain't gonna work. Lonzo is shooting the ball better, but Lonzo better with his ball in his hand, and so is Russell Westbrook. So in my opinion, I just don't see that working um, in Chicago. But check out Detroit Pistons Top playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I think Zach LaVine should be 1A, 1B, the number one target for the Pistons this offseason. Especially if you don't take Jay Ivey or Shaden Sharp. I think even if you take Shaden Sharp, he probably then you're probably looking at you probably still getting Zach LaVine until you be able to develop Shaden Sharp, depending on how you think he translates from high school to college, and I'll talk about that further this weekend. So um, that's the question. But at the end of the day, with Zach LaVine, if you're gonna spend 2025 and be in the bidding war with the Knicks and whatever, and a map for Jalen Brunson, if you're gonna talk about spending $25 million, you might as well pay Zach LaVine 30 a year. One thing you're getting with Zach LaVine, he could play with somebody that dominated the ball. He did it with DeMar DeRozan and didn't hate. Played some injured this year, but he give you athleticism. He explodes to the rim. He can shoot the ball. He a prolific scorer. You know what I'm saying? And him and Kay Cunningham gonna get that'd be a good backcourt. Don't need the ball to be, dominant. But you say, well, if they go with Jaden Ivey, somebody that's proven, um, then yeah, you probably, you could make it work if you wanted to. If we being honest, the league is positionless. You could make it work. You say, you know what, maybe slide Sadiq to the four, move Jeremy Grant, maybe move Sadiq and Jeremy Grant, move K to the three, and Ivy and Zach LaVine run the backcourt. But I don't think that's ideal. I don't think it's ideal. And I think, I think free agents after the draft. So that's gonna be interesting, man. Because they in a position to get a guard. Unless you go with Jalen Durham or Mark Williams, and then in them scenarios would you move down? But I mean, they was in a position to get a four, and they still could get a four. They still could take Keegan Murray. They still could move up um, and get one of the three if they really like them. I think moving up with Houston a couple spots. Houston would need a guy like Jeremy Grant, but I think Jeremy Grant is worth way more than moving up two spots for depending on how you rank Paulo Barancho. So um, but quite frankly, you can go the cheaper option and take Ivy, take Sharp, take Johnny Davis possibly. You can get back in the lottery, with the Jeremy Grant trade. I mean, the question about Jeremy Grant is you got to fill the four. Not only do you got to fill the five, you got to fill the four. But you fill a guard position at number five, or you can fill it in free agency. So you're gonna fill the guard opposite next to Kay Cunningham, and you might even get a backup of Tyus Jones. So you're gonna feel the guard position. You're probably gonna get a nice backup too. They're probably done with Killian Hayes from if some of the reports we're seeing is true. Sorry for Miles, you know. So you probably like I said before. Then you just say, are we able to take Jeremy Grant, get back in the lottery, and get a center, or do we say, you know what, we're gonna take a center and try to get back in the lottery and also get Keegan Murray? It's possible. Portland at 7, they probably more likely to move the second for Jeremy Grant. The 7 for Jeremy Grant. If you get 7, let's say you take I don't know. Let's say you end up with, Jaden Ivey. You turn around, you can get Benedict Mathurin, or you can turn around. Well, he more of a guard forward. Let's say you can end up with Keegan Murray and Jaden Ivey, or you end up with a guy like Johnny Davis and Keegan Murray. Who knows? So we'll see. I'm gonna start looking at some of the other guys out there, but um, it'll be interesting, man. But Zach LaVine, it's an expensive option, but the Pistons, the seat is hot right now for Troy Weaver, starting to get hot. Can't have another season like this. Somebody in Detroit, Detroit realm of sports got to start winning. The Lions ain't never held up the end of the bargain since the '90s. So I mean, Tigers, that's the quickest way to turn around in baseball, but it's slow and steady. So they got the Pistons is, I'm assuming your position of the king of Detroit sports and get it together. You got to get it together. So just my opinion. But it's an expensive option. But I mean, you got so many options in Detroit, and you can take Ivy, you can take Sharp, you can get another lottery pick, field of 5, field of 1. Let's say you get another lottery pick, you trade Jeremy Grant. You got to fill that 4 position too. That's the biggest issue for them because they're gonna be able to fill the 5. If it's Thomas Bryant, if it's Mitchell Robinson, if it's Muhammad Bamba, plugging them at the 5. The 4 is probably gonna be the hardest place to fill because you're in position to get a guard regardless. You know, um, you're in position to get a guard regardless. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. So I don't know. But with LaVine, if LaVine do become available, I just think the talent is so good. And at 5, maybe you turn around and put Keegan Murray in at the 4. I'm at the 4. You turn around and draft Keegan Murray. Not, I don't think he's gonna be a superstar. I think he'd be a solid glue guy, or maybe I don't know some of these other guys. Maybe you like Tari Eason, you know. But like I said before, the end prime position, the 4 is just gonna be the hardest spot to fill, you know. And when I rule up the Lions the Pistons trying to move up and get Paulo Brancho, I won't rule it out. But you ask yourself, moving up, at least got to jump ahead of Sacramento to Houston. I mean, what would they have to offer Houston? It had to be future draft. You have to really like Paulo Brancho. I'm not sure how much they like him, but sending Jeremy Grant there, you know, to move up from sending Jeremy Grant 5 to move up for 3, yeah, or you can stay at 5, pick, take Jeremy Grant, send him to Portland, end up with 5 or 7, and at 5 and 7, could you end up with Jaden Ivey and Keegan Murray? Could. Then get Muhammad Bama, plug him at the 5. You end up with Keegan Murray and you know Shaden Sharp or Johnny Davis. You could. So it's interesting, very interesting to see how it's gonna play out. But I think they should be players for Zach LaVine. I think they should be players, but it'll be interesting to see how I pan out. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, future chance, get notifications. We go live, we drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. So, our Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. Thumbs up the video, share the video, all that stuff. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, my social media link description. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Peace, and don't forget to check out my main channel right here on YouTube, Goodfella TV, for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. Appreciate the love and support.